fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it. America deserved 9/11. Liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, dude. Literally lying. What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley liar, dude. What a fucking... Holy fucking... What the fuck?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive. And I hope all the boys, all the girls, and all the MBs are having a fantastic one. Oh my god, I'm dying, dude. I'm so sick. Okay, look, I'm cutting it short. I'm cutting the intro short. I hope everyone's having a great one. It's Labor Day weekend. It's Labor Day today. I'm sick as a fucking dog. In the words of Donald Trump, I do not have COVID. I keep getting tested for it. My symptoms are not similar to COVID regardless. Anyway, we're going to go to I have a headache. I have so much pressure. That's what it is. Like, your eyes look pretty swollen. Have you tried some eye drops? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest. I don't know. My eye's a little bloody, too. My my left eye. Why are you always sick as shit camp? I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Look at this. It's like red. Kind of. And kind of swollen. Fucking allergies? I've never had any allergies. You're swimming in that Jersey water with Miskip? I don't fucking know. Anyway, 30 and falling apart, typical shit. Maybe. It's the COVID vax, baby. Part 3. We warned you? Yeah, probably. My sinuses are so fucking full, dude. Sinus pressure, headache medicine, probably allergies they develop in life. Anyway, regardless, this is not the fucking Hasanabi talks to his chat about his illnesses broadcast, because that would be very fun for... That would be very fun for everyone else in the chat, but not very fun for me. Anyway, this is part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life, and there's a lot of big things happening. Okay, there's a lot of big things happening. This week, we're going to shit camp. For those of you who don't know what shit camp is, well, you're about to find out. We are going to shit camp this week. Cutie Cinderella throws it. It will be live streamed. It's going to be 1,000,000 fucking degrees. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited. Last year, I had a bad back during it, so I could not participate in a lot of the events. I mean, I tried my very best. I could not walk. This year, I have an illness, which is also great. You know, I need to ask Cutie to never throw shit camp again, because every time she fucking wants to throw shit camp, I'm so fine. Like, I'm so fine in the lead up, like months ahead. I'm like losing weight. I'm healthy. My diet's going great. My body composition is starting to look a way where like I can recognize the differences in my body. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, my body is starting to look good. Like I'm fucking killing it, right? And then shit camp happens. Shitcon was good, right? Yeah, shitcon was good, yeah. Anyway, and then shit camp happens, and it's just like fucking boom, blammo, I'm dying, I'm dead. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, everybody calm the fuck down, talking about I have a sinus infection. So that's my situation. Yesterday, I didn't stream because, one, I was kind of sick, and two, I was filming for the new merch. That's right. New merch coming out. And I know a lot of you were like asking for it, begging for it. And new merchandise will be coming out soon. And for the new merch line, we are doing Himbo Fitness. Here it is. This is another sneak preview of it. But yeah. Andrew Tate did a Reddit AMA and it's awesome. Great. I mean, maybe we'll take a look at it if we have time. I just wanted to do like a update goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but see you later in a couple hours type thing. I'm COVID free though. At least I'm still sick, but I'm still COVID free, getting ready for shit camp. Like I said, last night, yesterday, oh my god, my brain is so foggy too. Woo! Okay, yesterday I did the Himbo Fitness merch line photo shoot. It was really good. I'm very excited. I was not excited about it originally. I thought it was gonna suck, but then it didn't actually end up sucking. It was really good. I played a lot of Valorante by myself. Okay, but played a lot of Valorante. Are there sleeveless shirts that aren't tanks? No. No. There are sleeveless shirts. There is a crew neck. There is, which is a pump cover. There are shorts, and there are, there are shorts and there are t-shirts. Anyway, I played a lot of Valorante. I watched Game of Thrones last night. She was good. She was popping. Woke up this morning, still sick. Went to bed last night, still sick. Will the money be donated again? No, it won't be. It'll be donated in my pocket. You made disparaging remarks about Juicer. No, I did not. But also, the fact that you're using disparaging implies that you are not a real juicer, and yet you are simply faking being one, even though you are basically fucking posting the juicer a lot. Maybe you are a juicer. I don't know. I didn't know that juicers know the word disparaging, which is surprising. I also don't understand why you make it seem like you're gonna come murder me. It's very strange. No, I mean, I don't think I said anything fucked up at all. I think it is fucked up. For the most part, that like XG last second bailed out. Look, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that you know you're not privy to, and I'm not privy to. Let's be fucking real. You know what I mean? I reached out a couple weeks ago to XQC, or like a week ago, you know, saying, look, man, I know I haven't really, we haven't really talked to one another in a while, but if there's anything you want to bounce off of, if you want an outsider's opinion, you know, I'm here for you. I hope you're doing all right, that sort of thing. But regardless, no, I think like, I simply stated in my alt Twitter account that like, I think it's shitty. I love Cutie. I love Ludwig. I don't like that, you know, I don't like the way that XQC handled him not coming to the event last second. That's it. And I don't think that it's like, it's that fucked up of me to say. I mean, I know that people like love looking for drama. I think there's a lot of personal things probably happening behind the scenes as well. Like I said, like I'm attributing to that. I am, because he said unpredictable stuff happened today, you know, a couple days ago. I don't think it's just like people love memeing and saying like it's just a Gamba addiction. But no, I don't think it's like that. I think there are probably some things going on. I don't like the way that he handled it though. Like I said, XQC bailing last second on shit camp is obviously bad. Cutie busted her ass for the event and spent a lot of our own money to make content for everyone. Like I was excited to fucking see him. Like I was excited to see him. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I? XQC online, not great. XQC in person, awesome dude. Okay, straight up. Like that's one of the main things, right? Is that he's in person, he's a lot better. XQC interacting with other content creators, great content. But yeah, I just didn't like that. I think, look, my most charitable interpretation of this is that he basically said, like, was trying to maybe make a meme out of not coming. And I think it fucking failed because, like, now everyone is, you know, now everyone's, like, shitting on Cutie. It's so fucked up. Like, you know, this person is... Seems like you have a more valid reason to bail than XQC considering you've been sick for almost a week now, bro. No, I'm not going to bail. I'm not going to fucking bail. The reason why I'm not going to bail is because I'm not going to do that to Cutie. Okay? Why are you bending over backwards to defend this guy? I'm not defending him at all. Look, ultimately, you know, even if there's like personal shit going on, you know, just say it. Just be like, listen, there's personal stuff going on. There's family stuff going on, you know, or whatever. Don't be like, I'm not coming because Soda's not coming. And I think even if he made a joke about it, like, because I think that was originally what happened. He just like said, when he saw the video, he said, oh, Soda's not coming, so I'm not going either. And that like, it's going to fucking suck if Soda's not there. He basically said something along the lines of like, I saw the tweet. He said something along the lines of like, oh, if Soda's not, I'm not going to go because Soda's not going. And when Soda's not going, it's going to be, it's not going to be like funny. There's not going to be good content. It's like, bro, come on. Bailing on the last second is bad, right? Maybe you had some personal shit going on and that's fine, right? But how are you going to do that? That after the Soda excuses that I don't know anybody there very well and it'll be bad for him. No, man, he's been around all of us so many fucking times. That's crazy. Anyway, listen, people will turn around and like try to be like, oh, dude, it's because like he has a lot of views, like you're missing out on it or some shit. Because I saw some of the fucking trolls saying that, like, oh, it's Cloud, it's Cloud. It's like, no, man. I'd be sad if he wasn't coming regardless across the board, even if he wasn't going to fucking stream or even if he wasn't going to appear on a fucking single stream. I don't really, you know, I don't really, like, I'm upset that I don't get to see him personally. That's number one. Number two, I wouldn't have cared about it if it wasn't just like, you know, if I bailed on an event like this last second, I'd just be like, yo, listen, I'm really sorry. There's some personal shit going on. I can't elaborate further. Please stop, you know, pointlessly speculating. But the event is going to be fucking sick. The event's going to be fucking sick and dope. I don't know what is happening. Like, I didn't really follow the drama because I don't go on LSF at all. But, like, all I saw is so many fucking juicers being like, dude, this is going to suck. I'm not watching. And it's just, you know, like, Pokelaw's had a great excuse. You know, he just said he has a lot of anxiety. It's sad. It sucks. I wanted to see Poke and Gigi were going to come. I thought it would be fun. to hang out with them again. It's been a while since I've seen them. If you did this, you would get ruthlessly ripped from your asshole up. Yes, of course. Of course I would. 1,000,000%. Even if I had a good fucking, but there's always a double standard. Even if I had a good reason, there is a, you know, there's always a double standard. Come on, let's be real. I'm sure there's more to it. I don't want a clouding and otherwise fun event amongst friends. Just feel icky to carelessly shit on something someone else worked hard on, even if you had a legitimate reason to bail beyond wanting to do gambling streams. You know, I don't think it's like just gambling streams or anything like that. I know that people were like making fun of XQC, saying like, oh, it's because he wants to stay at home and do Gamba and TikTok. I don't think that's the reason. I'm sure there's like more to it than that. Ultimately, I was excited to see everyone, including XQC, and I'm still stoked, even though it's going to be, you know, 1,000,000 degrees in the sun and I'm sick. Hope we don't die. So yeah, Shit Camp is going to be on everyone's streams. It's going to be on Cutie Cinderella's stream. It's going to be on my stream. We all have like different events. And he said on stream that it wasn't going to be fun, Lamau. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he said a bunch of disparaging things about it. And basically, like, look, the point is this, okay? I'll cover it from a fan angle, okay? If you're a fan, you want to see your favorite content creators interact with one another. What up, NMP? It's going to be on my stream. I'm going to watch it all. Hell yeah. Farm it, baby. Look, if you're a fan, you get to see a bunch of streamers interact with one another, okay? From the perspective of other content creators, like Cutie is like putting this together. She's putting her money into this. You know what I mean? She's like dumping a fuckload of money into this and you know, setting all these events up. What the fuck? Why am I on this already? Okay, well, regardless, there's like here, you can go to shitcamp.live to see it. But where are the oh, here's the schedule. That's what I was looking for. The opening ceremony starts tonight at 7 p.m. There's a breakfast stream. There's a fishing stream. There's an archery stream. There was supposed to be a scavenger hunt where like XQC and I, like we did last year, we're going to compete against one another and do a scavenger hunt against one another. There's a birthday stream. There's a newlywed game like we did last time. Yeah, so there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. Myth. Myth is on a mission by the U.S. government to eliminate everyone else at Shit Camp. His final target being the anti-capitalist Hassan. Will he complete this mission or will he say it again? What? Will Hassan say it again? The will XQC show up on the Shit Camp website is even funnier now. Wait, really? Does it show up on the Shit Camp website is even funnier now? God damn, that's what I sound like. I sound sick as fuck, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, look, I'm sad because he's not coming. For not necessarily for purely selfish reasons, is like, oh my god, you know, fucking or whatever, but you know, I was excited to hang out with him in person. It's been a very long time. I feel like I said, he's a lot better in person to interact with than on the internet. Okay. Say you're a parasocial alien and wanted to hang out with your favorite streamer, we'll understand that. Yeah, exactly. That scavenger hunt is probably still going to be on. Yes. It's just we're just probably gonna have to figure it out. Kai Snap briefly mentioned you on a stream that he wanted to do something relating to politics with you. Might be fun content idea. Dude, that'd be fucking sick. I've been trying to figure out how to collaborate with more W streamers. I'm trying to be more W myself. You know what I mean? Everybody knows I'm a W streamer, an honorary W streamer. And by that, I mean, like, I have the W banner. I've had the W banner since day one, you know? So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Classic Wasan. Yeah, absolutely. You already know it. You already know it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's pop off. Let's blast off. You should do it with Brucey as well. Yes, of course. Absolutely. 100%. Let's blast off real quick. Okay. Doing a short stream. Talking about the upcoming or get in now. Okay, there you go. Did you watch the Channel 5 Alex Jones clip? Yeah, I did. Sure did. Anyway, I also one other extra thing that I will mention is I also got my merch samples for the new one after. I got the new merch samples. Here you go, juice it, juice it, juice it, blast off. We're blasting off. Here it is. I'm live before shit came doing a short stream covering the news, talking about the upcoming weeks and more. Get it now. We'll do the Rogan and Co. thoughts on Tate. There's also a special master. Are you going to New York after? Yes, I am. So after shit camp, I'm going to be going to New York. Okay? Like almost directly. I have a bunch of podcasts that I've lined up, including some of which I can tell you right now, a bunch of fun content ideas lined up. I have a Fear End episode that I'm going to lock down, that I'm locking down. And also on top of that, I'm going to be doing Andrew Schultz's podcast. That's the no, I'm not going on the Adam Friedland show. So that's the reason why I'm going to New York. Also, I might go to like some New York Fashion Week shit. Jake Sucky tweeted about it. The fuck? Why did Jake Sucky tweet about this shit, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? After claiming to miss shit camp because Soda isn't going, Asana's chimed in on ICU dissing Cutie's hard work for the event. I mean, I said, excuse. I mean, I don't. Fuck me, dude. This is. I can't wait for this, dude. This is not gaming news. Is this gaming news? I mean, this is just like Keemstar Farm shit. Does anyone actually like Hassan? Yeah, thanks, man. Booming. Drama Frog Andy Jake Sucky. Anyway. Why do you like New York Fashion Week if you don't mind me asking? Maybe I'm just too poor to understand most of the crap on the runway is pretentious and hideous. I don't know. I like fashion. Bro reports on anything that will farm drama. Jake Sucky is weird. Are the rumors true? Is Biden going to be a shit camp? Yes. True. I'm leaking it. Yeah, I'm working on the additional merch line. We have real tree camo pattern. I'll leak it. I've been working on a real tree camo pattern. It's not like actually real tree, which is of course copyrighted and stuff. And they're pretty fucking litigious. But so we made like our own, which is hilarious because I'm currently wearing my friend JPEG Mafia's merchandise with the same real tree camo pattern style thing, but I've only shown you the pattern itself. Like I got a sample of it. But now I actually have like the not the prints, but actually like I saw it on stuff like shorts and sweatpants and a hoodie and a t-shirt, and it's pretty sick. So I'm very excited about that. And for me, I mean, it's like I call it AmeriCorps, which I like. You know, it's gonna be the Hog Collection. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm excited about it. I hope that it's like, no, I feel like women might not be really, my female fan base might not be really into like wearing like really hog shit, but who knows? Same shirt you wore here. Yeah. When I was there. I was not there January 6th. How are you prepping for shit camp? I'm not. Oh, by the way, the judge who granted Trump's special master request was appointed by him and has been a member of the far-right Federal Society since 2005. Trump got a big dub today. Obviously, we got to talk about that. Headache. He was appointed after Trump lost the election. Nice. I had no idea you were so good at WoW. You should stream it more. What is this? Yeah. True. I'm kind of cracked. Do you notice it? Do you notice how fucking cracked I am? Look at the intensity in my eyes. Look at how fucking into it I am. Yeah. I didn't want to say it. That's the reason why I took a day off, just so I could play on Soda Pop and stream. Soda had an anti-vax song on while you were on stream. It was based as hell. Thank God. Thank fucking God, dude. I mean, thank God yeah, Soda. What do you mean Soda had it on? I had it on. I actually had it on myself because that's me. I was the one who was running the stream. Here we go. Another Austin banger. We did this on the latest episode, by the way. We did this on the latest episode of Fear and we made Ted do it too. Nice of you to level for Soda. You were pretty efficient considering you never played before that. Yeah, thanks. The opening sentences of the Washington Post editorial opposing Chile's new constitution. Yeah, I saw this. This is pretty fire. Guy's taking over your shtick. What is that?
boy, great news. Oh boy, it has just been revealed. Big news, big news. Oh boy, here's a video of it. This is what Don. Oh boy, this is it, guys. Big news.
I love this guy, bro. He's my favorite. He's going pog. I am recording Fear and. That's part of the reason why I'm going. I'm going for podcast related reasons. I'm going to New York for podcast related reasons. Big news, boys.
Donald Trump.
Oh boy, I'm going to New York after. So yeah. Got my mom and Murat to hold shit down, hold the fort down while I'm gone. Made me laugh. He has to be a Hasanabi head. What is this? Oh, I already covered this. Yeah, he does the same joke that I have done. You and the boys when you hit max on WoW.
One wishes to you.
It's crazy how composed we are. You know what I'm saying? Like I when this was happening, like for a moment I was like, should I get excited? Like, should I celebrate it? And then I was like, well, you know what? Like, it's fine. We all got here together. We all did this together. Like, we're composed for that reason. You know, now the real grind begins, right? I mean, that's you know, we took it silently, like champions, like real champions. CNN has gone from 0 to Breitbart in 30 seconds. I love this. You know, I fucking love this, dude. When wokeness comes to Middle Earth, why some say diverse casting ruins the new Lord of the Rings series. I love this because they were like, hey, last time, like in the Gamergate era and in the build up to like Obama, a lot of right-wing and right-adjacent content creators and like a lot of right-wing content creators made a lot of money, and they were like, we need to get in on that shtick. We need to get in on that pretty hard. We can't let Sargon of Akkad make all the money. We got to make that money ourselves. So they're just straight up like, they went from hyper liberal to being like, they basically went from being like they went from over the top pandering and being like, every elf needs to be every elf needs to be trans and a person of color, an elf of color, and disabled, to actually, we realize that diversity is our weakness. It's not a strength. And hit the 14 words so fucking quick. It's crazy. And guess what? You have no commitment, okay? You have no commitment to any sort of cause whatsoever. And also representative politics and diversity in representation only goes so far. But that was the reason why liberals were on board with it. You know what I mean? I'll just say it like this, okay? I do not give a single flying fuck whether there are black elves or not. Okay? It's fake. It's not real. Who cares? Who cares if there are black elves? Why the fuck would you care? Are you out of your mind? As long as the content is good, who gives a shit? Okay? Like, I don't understand. Good thread on diversity on shows and how accurate they are. Tyrion Lannister was specifically described as one green eye, one black eye peered out from under a lank fall of hair so blonde it seemed white. There was no outcry when he showed up in the show looking like this. In the Harry Potter books, Ron is tall as the twins. Harry had green and messy hair. Hermione had noticeably large teeth. All mentioned several times and act as plot points. Movie, average height Ron. Neat hair, blue eyes Harry. Average teeth Hermione. No one cared. And the Princess Bride, Vizzini is described as having near angelic face. Movie. Yeah, people take liberties with what they decide to do. They say that there was never a black person on Lord of the Rings. No, I know. I understand that. No, I get that, like, Tolkien intended for it to be mostly an Anglo-Saxon experience devoid of any sort of black person. But ultimately, here's my counter to that, okay? Who cares? I mean, actually, who cares? Ultimately, though, you can't do just like pandering diversity shit and not actually make the content good. Especially when we're in a goddamn content drought. You know? So, you know, it's an adaptation anyway. You can change stuff. It's not supposed to be one-to-one. I know. I thought we had these conversations so many times. And it's wild that it's coming back again. I'm not racist. I just care about historical accuracy. I say about a TV show that includes hobbits and elves. Above my desk hangs a painting of Jesus who looks like Bradley Cooper. Yeah. It's also completely not true. There are POC all throughout the Lord of the Rings universe. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the actual legitimate Tolkien fan fiction or the facts of the matter. But the Harfoots, the most numerous of Hobbit strains, were also the smallest. They had nut brown skin and hair, nut brown. They loved hill lands and often enjoy the company of dwarves. These Harfoots were the first of the Hobbit to cross over to the Misty Mountains and enter Eriador. Yeah, okay, so here's another thing, okay? In a lot of instances, these people are just upset. These people are just upset that, like, the black and brown representation is not on the evil side. Let's be real. There's going to be a lot of fucking shit in this. There's going to be a lot of stuff here that from people with genuine underlying resentment towards people of color, as a consequence of white supremacist constructs that they were born into, that they were raised in, that environment that they were raised in, where they ultimately have these kinds of resentments, and they're trying to express it in this way where they're like, wow, I can't believe they made positive black and brown characters. You know? It's just such a weird fucking thing to get mad at, brother. You're crazy. And I think people were mad that, like, there was a female elf too. Like, the main character is, like, now a woman. Of course, unacceptable. And some Hunger Games fans are upset that the character of Rue is black. Racist Hunger Games fans are very disappointed in a blog just about pointing out a Tumblr site called Games Tweets. While some of the comments were mere surprise, others were more opinionated. Why does Rue have to be black? Not gonna lie, kind of ruined the movie. Both of those accounts appear to have been deleted from Twitter since Jezebel called out the posts. Rue's skin color should have hardly been a secret. In addition to being spelled out in the book, Stenberg and Kravitz were among those pictures as individual character posters. So she's black in the book and people were still mad? I don't understand. Elon said Tolkien is turning in his grave. Wait, stop. You mean to tell me that South African Elon Musk? Wait. South African Elon Musk had a take on this where he said it's unacceptable that there are positive black characters and brown characters on the Lord of the Rings baby book. Oh no. Oh no. This is ruined. Not my favorite book that I read as a kid. No, not my favorite fantasy. No, it's like, dude, chill the fuck out. Calm down. Or was it a debate where he says almost every male character so far is a coward, a jerk, or both. Only Galadriel is brave, smart, and nice. That's a nice debate. He's like, it's not because of the black characters, it's because of the woman character. Where everyone needs to chill, they literally race changed L. Ron Hubbard and no one is complaining. Yeah, it's L. Ron Hoyabembe. You best watch what you say. Oh my science, I'm about to lose my rockers. Lord of the Rings universe is too advanced for you to understand. People are freaking out about House of Dragons having black people too. Yeah, I mean, dude, hey, newsflash, guys. Black people exist in society. That's crazy. So, like, maybe newer versions of, older works of art are probably going to, reflect that. Because especially when your work of art, well, I mean, I'm not saying George R. Martin's work of art is that old, but, like, sometimes people decide to go a certain way with their representation. It's not the fucking, not the end of the world. Especially when it comes down to a book, which is like oftentimes written by a much tighter group of individuals, like a much smaller group of individuals, which does not open itself up to a fuckload of different points of view on how that content should be created, which actually makes it really good, in my opinion. Writing a book can be a very selfish, singular, private matter. You know what I mean? And when you do that, you're not going to get a lot of feedback necessarily. It's like almost entirely up to the individual. And for that reason, it can be beautiful. It can be, it can really give you a peek into the mind of someone who's truly brilliant, truly creative, right? But it can also lead to shortcomings, like making all the fucking bad characters black and brown. You know what I mean? Like, because your individual blind spots are also going to be represented and reflected in the material. Now, when another creative person and a much larger creative group of individuals get to work and recreate this work of art, they're going to put their own seasoning on it, and it's normal. So that's how it works. I was standing in line to buy the new Scarlett Johansson movie Ghost in the Shell when I found out about Lord of the Rings, shitting and crying. How could they do this? Yeah. I never had to look far for representation of myself. Really hot guy in mainstream media. But why would anyone want to take that away from someone else? So bizarre. Yeah. Yeah. Michael, you and I, we've been represented fairly well. Really hot guys. We've been represented fairly well in media. I don't really get it, I don't really get what these people are complaining about. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my take. White people always fucking up any non-Caucasian names at the moment they start talking about Lord of the Rings. They're rolling their R's and nailing names with accents, umlauts, and hyphens in them like their lives dependent on it. The take from Tamur, friend of the show. Wummer W. There's a GMA clip about racism facing a black actor in House of Dragon too.
Turning now to the new hit show House of the Dragon. Days after the record-breaking premiere of the Game of Thrones prequel, one of the stars,
well, all this plays, I gotta pee. I'll be back in a second.
Racist comments made by some viewers about his casting. Chris Connolly has more. Chris, good morning to you.
And good morning to you, Whit. It's far from the first time this has happened, but it's still shocking to learn about. Racist comments aimed at a black performer. And he's speaking out about the abuse and its effects on him. all those fire-breathing, air-raising, dismemberable moments on HBO's Game of Thrones prequel House of the Dragon, delighting millions of viewers. Its first episode, a mix of the old, the even older, and the new.
Those shipping lanes should fall. It will beggar our port.
New, like Corlys Velaryon, a lead character played by Steve Toussaint, whose casting has put a micro-slice of the audience on tilt, appalled, it seems, at the sight of a black actor front and center in a fantasy drama.
This is fiction. This is a made-up world. This is a made-up family. This is not rooted in reality. So characters can actually be Black, white, Asian, Latinx. They can be all types of people.
The British acting standout, speaking out about the invective that's targeted him, telling The Hollywood Reporter he didn't feel like his being cast was a bigger deal until I was racially abused on social media. And then I thought, okay, this means a lot to some people, but I can't allow that to bother me.
I swear this, by the old gods and the new.
Earlier this year, more of the same kind of racist claptrap aimed at actress Moses Ingram.
Where is he?
As she was featured in the Disney Plus Star Wars series Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor, who played the show's title character, posting support for his co-star.
We stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world.
Star Wars feature film principals like John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran also found themselves on the receiving end of this garbage, while to Men's Health, House of the Dragon's Toussaint underscoring the absurdity of those objecting. It seems to be very hard for people to swallow. They are happy with a dragon flying, but a rich black guy? That's beyond the pale.
I don't understand. Like, I think the thing I can't comprehend often, this is like low-key a more complicated subject to broach than just like, oh, this is racist and let's move on, or oh, diversity is good across the board and let's move on. Obviously, diverse representation is a good thing, right? But the issue is, oftentimes companies will do female Ghostbusters, right? And what do I mean by female Ghostbusters? Most of you immediately picked up on what I was saying, which is, let's take Ghostbusters and just put women in it. Like, let's not do anything. Like, let's not do anything different or new. It's such a hacky and easy way to try to reshape the content. Okay? It's such a hacky, it's so performative. Everyone understands what's going on there. And you're just not doing anything. You're recycling IP. People are annoyed when you recycle IP regardless. And they get extra annoyed because, you know, misogyny makes it even additionally annoying for a lot of people, right? So my point always is like, make it good. That's the best way to fucking destroy people. Now, this is like one of the greatest examples of diverse representation, in my opinion, is from a formative work that I love personally called Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, some of you will say there was a live action rendition of that, and to them I say that's not real. That never happened. No one ever shot a Avatar: The Last Airbender live action rendition. I'm talking about the cartoon, right? Avatar: The Last Airbender had brown characters, black characters, leads, you know what I mean? Indigenous characters. Avatar: The Last Airbender did disability. Avatar: The Last Airbender did a really decent job, in my opinion, of like having a disabled character. One of the main characters was literally fucking disabled, blind. One of the best characters, Toph, right? And at the time, people were not fucking freaking out about that as much, but I'm pretty sure, and it was an anti-imperialist work, obviously, so that was great. But at the time, people were fucking mad. At the time, no one was mad, sorry. If we had it, if they'd made Avatar: The Last Airbender now, I feel like a lot of people that get mad about this shit would probably still turn around and be like, blind character? That's bullshit. I'm not watching. Fuck that. And the diversity is ruining it. Half the cast has to be brown. Get the fuck out of here, right? It's woke SJW cartoon. And it was a woke SJW cartoon, but it was good. Okay? It was a woke SJW cartoon, but it was really fucking good. You get it? So if you're gonna, I think like, we have disabled people exist in the real world. Black people, brown people exist in the real world. People with different marginalized backgrounds exist in the real world. And having them, in my opinion, be main characters that aren't exclusively there for that purpose is the greatest way to do it. And also on top of that, you need to make sure that, the content is good, right? For example, I think that while the new Game of Thrones is all right, never going to hit like the OG, it's never going to hit like the first, 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones or whatever. It's all right. It's not bad. One of the great parts about it is that there is no like addressing that a character is black. There's black. That's it. It's great. Who cares? They're just like, because guess what? It's fantasy. And in that situation, there need not be any sort of like, there need not be chattel slavery, right? It doesn't have to always address it. It doesn't always have to address that like, oh, there are black Targaryens. What's that about? We got to talk about this. It's like, no, we don't. Why would we? We straight up do not have to talk about that. Right? At all. Well, they're not even Targaryen. They're Valerian, right? So but they have Targaryen blood. So whatever. It doesn't matter. My point is, from that end, I do like from on that front, I do actually legitimately like the way that they did it on Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? I think that that's fine. It's fantasy. They don't have to address it at all, and the characters are not there specifically to talk about blackness. You see what I'm saying? Or if you have a disabled character, they're not there to specifically talk about being disabled, right? And what that means to them. And I think that's great. That's normal. That's how it's supposed to be. On top of that, it needs to be good though. You see what I mean?
When it comes to looking at pieces of entertainment content, and all of a sudden you're seeing people who look like your neighbors or your colleagues or your coworkers in spaces where you're not accustomed to seeing them, that's a good thing, because it wasn't happening before, but it's happening now, and that should be embraced, not cast aside and not disrespected.
Clearly, the 10 million viewers of House of the Dragon very much enjoying what they've seen so far. Its new, bold, diverse characters are a big part of that. Guys?
They really are. And he said it best. You can believe in flying dragons and magic, but you can't believe he...
Yeah, I mean, that's also not that strange. It's ironic, but it's not that strange that people are open-minded about like, fucking insane things happening in their favorite fantasy genre. Like dragons flying, like people killing multiple, all this shit, okay? But they cannot comprehend a world in which, black people are existing alongside white people. In the books, Tolkien describes Harfoots. We already talked about that. In the Hunger Games books, Rue was described as having dark brown skin and eyes. When a black actress was cast to play the canonically black character, there was enough of an outcry to make several news headlines. That's crazy, but not surprising. Ever since the release of Sandman, Neil Gaiman, the author who has refused any retelling of Sandman until he was absolutely certain it could be told according to his vision, has been battling racist, sexist, transphobic trolls who disagree with his vision. I give all the fucks about the work. I spent 30 years successfully battling Bat movies of Sandman. I give zero fucks about people who don't understand and haven't read Sandman, whining about non-binary designer or that desire or that death isn't white enough. Watch the show and make up your minds. Dude, this is going to hurt, but David Bowie's dead. We knew he wasn't available to play Lucifer any longer. That's why we cast Gwendolyn Christie. A Black Dream. What a great idea. I'll go back in time to success that Neil Gaiman in 1988 right now. I love that the guy who made the fucking art, the guy who made the actual work, people are yelling at him. Like, he's not even fucking dead. He's there. He's tweeting. He's tweeting through it. He's tweeting a defense of whatever the fuck he wrote. What the hell? That's insane. In conclusion, Lenny Henry absolutely nails the point. It's not, never has been about respecting the author's vision. It's about racism. Lenny Henry misses the point. Wait, what? Most fantasy fans have no issue casting black actors. It's when black actors cast the roles that the author's series is described as not being black. What's so wrong about wanting to stick to the author's vision? No one cares if your hair, eye color, or other physical characteristics are changed. People are specifically accept when canonical blackness isn't changed to be more appearing to white supremacist aesthetic. In conclusion, fuck every single bigot troll trying to add a layer of respectability to their constant, never-ending bitching and whining and attempts to force their racist, misogynistic, and transphobic politics of our entertainment down our throats. If you really want us to believe you just care about the author's vision, then maybe don't get all upset when a black actress is cast to play a canonically black character, or a non-binary actor is cast to play a canonically non-binary character if you're pathetic piss baby losers. Well, they'll turn around and say, oh, well, you want to have it one way, but you can't have it the other. You know what I mean? Which, again, in a world where 99.9% of the actors are sexy white men and women that are cis and het, what's the problem with having a little bit more diversity? I just don't understand it. Why? Why are you so bent is the real question, you know? We have the discourse every week. I'm going to lose my mind. Are you going to address what the tweet said? What tweet? I just did. Bro, it's been too much. It's not little diversity. It's forced in every creative art. What do you mean forced? What do you mean forced? Why is it forced? It's only forced if you find it to be an eyesore or an aberration. You get that, right? That's more of a self-report on your behalf. I've never watched a show and been like, man, it really ruined the vibes for me when I saw a black person on screen. Like, what the fuck is that? Jews have made less diversity, haven't they? What the fuck? I don't understand what is happening in this. What's going on right now? What's happening in my chat right now is a real question. This is, it's just like it's a wild thing. Ultimately, we all want fucking good content, okay? I don't give a shit if every character is black or every character is white or whatever the fuck. Obviously, I say that because I do have that. I guess maybe it's because like I just, you know, I'm the default character regardless, right? I just want to make sure that the top of the hour ad break is served on time. And at the top of the hour is a 6-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, doesn't matter what your background is, you're going to have to subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Right? That's the default position. Okay, Ted Cruz's tonsil stones. Thank you for the 5. Get the subs. That's disgusting that you reminded me of that. You can also get gifted a sub if you want to avoid the ads if you're lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. I feel like it's more forced to exclusively use white people or other people exist in reality, so I want them involved too. Yeah, I just, like I said, it does not matter to me. It does not matter to me at all. It is exclusively, I want the artwork to be good. Oh, this is on the paywalled stuff.
Hassan is like, he throws his back into it.
Let me give it a go. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, 10. okay. Ted's using the other beat as a backstroke.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Oh my God.
Pull it out. Pull it out. It's genius. Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah, we're stool humping. I disagree with the diversity take. I watched Sopranos, was devastated when I found out they used the actual Italian people. Yeah. Dude, I cannot. Oh, God. The only valid take when people cry about forced diversity.
Who the hell cares?
True. Yeah, that is the only acceptable take when people fucking freak out about forced diversity or whatever. Diversity in media is the easiest to focus, easiest to consume when it's not the main focus. Like, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. As far as like diversity in media goes, like I think people like entertainment for the sake of entertainment. They want it as a means of escape. They want to fucking use this as an opportunity to forget about like how horrible their lives are or whatever. So nobody wants like a lesson. Nobody wants to be like educated. Nobody wants a lecture when they're getting when they're actually consuming content. So you just have to move away from the lecture side and make it fun, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's the point. That's the whole thing. I already ran the top of the hour ad break. Literally, why you get so much shit on the daily? I mean, I get shit on the daily because, yeah, no one wants to fucking be lectured and feel like they're wrong. Yes, that is true. But ultimately, you know, what are you gonna do? I think that this is fun content. There's an educational spin on it. I bill it as exactly what it is. You know what I mean? It's not like what I'm doing is not openly political commentary. You know? Okay, but having black people in your cast is not a lecture. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. You're misunderstanding. But sometimes people literally will make it like sometimes well-intentioned liberals, okay, will turn around and try to turn a normal casting decision into one that is like somehow a much larger point about like racial dynamics or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? And then they exclusively rely on that, thinking that is going to be standalone. That is going to carry the content as a standalone. And that's not. It usually fails. And I'm a fan of good content. I know, controversial take. Art doesn't need politics. What do you mean? Art always is political, but there is no art art is never devoid of politics. Art's created by human beings, and human beings are political animals. You just don't understand context and subtext. You just have to. You lack the analytical tools if you think that art is not supposed to be political, right? Like, my point is, The Boys, at least like season 1 and 2, great example of like a very political show a very political piece of art that actually doesn't fully go along with the main body of work either. That is otherwise very fun to watch. You feel me? It's a fun watch. Right? And even the fucking chuds like it. And one of the best parts about The Boys is like constantly talking and ripping into the pandering that like liberal media and the marketing machine engages in. Like they do that all the time. And I love that. The Chuds review bombed season 3 on some episodes. I just didn't like season 3 as much. I thought it was mid. Anyway, let's watch. Let's get to attorney explaining judge's comments on Trump's special master
Labor Day
ruling.
bombshell granting a request for an independent special master to review all the documents, all the materials the FBI seized from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Justice Department argued this move would impede its investigation, but the judge clearly disagreed. CNN's Sarah Murray is live in Washington. Our Kara Scanal is here with me in New York, and also with us is constitutional law attorney Paige Pate. Everybody, thanks for being here. Let me start with you, Kara. This is no slow Labor Day. Talk about the immediate impact of this filing.
Yeah, and I mean, a surprise for sure on Labor Day. So right now with this ruling, the judge is saying that the Justice Department is enjoined, that is, they're blocked now from reviewing and using any of the materials that were seized at Mar-a-Lago. Remember, that's more than 11,000 documents, as we were talking about on Friday. So the judge saying they cannot look at this anymore. It's going to go to the special master that she is saying she's granted Trump's request to appoint. Now, she's giving everybody until Friday to come up with a list of names of people who could possibly serve in that role. You know, likely someone who has some kind of security clearance, because hundreds of pages of these documents are classified, as we know. So right now there's a pause. There's a pause until the special master finishes this review. It's unclear how long that pause will take, but we have a sense of the volume of the number of documents involved here.
Sarah, this politically is a win for the president, no?
Oh, I mean, absolutely, this is a political win. Donald Trump is getting almost everything that he has asked for in this. And in her court filing today, the judge points out sort of the extraordinary nature of this. Here's what she wrote. As a function of plaintiff's former position as president of the United States, the stigma associated with the subject seizure is in a league of its own. A future indictment based to any degree on property that ought to be returned would result in reputational harm of a decidedly different order of magnitude. And I think that we are hearing here what the judge tried to convey when she was having that hearing, that this is not an ordinary situation. This is a former president of the United States who has not ruled out another run for president. And so she believes that it is worth taking this extra step, despite the Justice Department's concerns, in order to ensure that the material is reviewed by this outside party.
Legally, Paige, does this help Trump?
Not a lot, Anna. It may be a political win for Trump, but it's not much of a legal win. I mean, the motion that they filed, the request for this special master, it included a lot of nonsense about, you know, the election interference, who should have won. This is all political. But the request to have a special master appointed to review these documents is not that crazy. It's not that out of the ordinary. It does happen in federal court in other cases. Now, it may slow down the Justice Department's investigation somewhat, but not a lot. DOJ has already informed this court that, hey, we've looked at these documents. We know what they are. We've already sent some of them for an analysis of the impact to national security of the documents having been at Mar-a-Lago. So that part of the investigation, it can continue on despite the judge's order. So while it may be a setback, I don't think it's a significant one.
And the judge did appear to push back on one Trump argument, in fact, saying, quote, there has not been a compelling showing of callous disregard for plaintiffs' constitutional rights. Paige, is it significant that that's now on the record from this judge?
I think so. And again, Anna, I think that points to the fact that this is not as significant as some people are saying. The judge is not saying the Justice Department was wrong, not saying that they took stuff they should not have took, and certainly not saying that this investigation is political or not properly founded in the law. What the judge is saying is, look, I understand you say you've had your own team look at this, but let's just have someone independent, someone from the outside look over their shoulder. Perhaps that takes some of the politics.
I think it's pretty cool that, you know, a Trump-appointed judge could turn around and be like, no, actually, the person that's being investigated by the federal government or the FBI has an opportunity to counter the investigation that's being conducted before the investigation is done, and like literally legally obstruct justice. Okay? It's a wild thing to it's a wild thing that we're just battling with here, where I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You can't, like, how the fuck does this work? And I feel like even if it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, I mean, wouldn't the Supreme Court just allow Trump to have a special master? That's cool though. Like, in the United States of America, everything is done above board. You know what I mean? All the corruption is baked into the system, and you know, it's just like judge shopping, right? Like, the Purdue family was able to judge shop and go find a judge that was going to separate their assets, regardless of their personal involvement in OxyContin, in the OxyContin production and marketing. But they were able to go to a judge that would give them a favorable perspective and allow them to retain some of their ill-gotten wealth. Yeah, it's pay to win. All the way from the bottom to the top. Of course, it's corruption and awful in a heavily orientalized East, right? They do bribery there. That's yucky. That's icky. We do legalized corruption, legalized bribery. We do lobbying. So that's where we're at.
Politics out it, but it's not a rejection of the government's investigation, not at all.
And Kara, I know you have been poring over this 24-page ruling that just came down. There are also more details in this about what was seized.
That's right. I mean, one of the things the judge is appointing the special master for is not only for these issues of attorney-client or executive privilege, but also personal documents. And so what she informs us in this opinion is that among the documents that were seized were some of Trump's medical records, some records related to his taxes, and some records relating to his accounting, which is of interest because there are all these other investigations involving some of those same issues. The judge is saying that the special master will go through and read it out. And I mean, in her order, she's also saying that the reason she's doing this is also for the perception of fairness. You know, she said that there were some concerns that the filter team had already provided one or two documents to the investigative team that they shouldn't have, so she wants to put this in place as like another blocker.
And so even though, Paige, the DOJ and Trump's attorneys are on opposite sides of this issue, the judge is saying in this ruling that now they need to agree on and provide a list of possible special master candidates and a proposal for communication abilities, schedule for review, and compensation. How unusual is that?
Well, it's not unusual at all, but it may be very difficult to do here. I mean, it doesn't look like either side has agreed with the other on anything, because the judge did note in her order the Trump team came to DOJ before this motion was filed, asked that there be a special master. Justice said, no, we're not going to do that. So can they get together and agree? That would be the normal course. In a case that did not involve a former president, the judge would say both sides need to submit potential special masters for the court's approval and how the process will work. I don't know if they're going to be able to agree on that here, but if they can't, then the judge can do it herself.
And Kara also pointed out that given there are so many classified documents, including top secret, does that narrow down who could be assigned as a special master?
Oh, absolutely. Whoever reviews these documents has to have the proper classification and clearance to be able to look at the stuff, because you're going to have to look at all of the documents again to determine if the review team, the internal review team, may have missed any privileged documents or personal documents. So yes, it's going to be a very short list of potential special masters.
Sarah, tell us more about how this could impact the timeline of the investigation.
Well, I mean, obviously for the Justice Department, this is difficult because it holds their ability to access and review these documents. So they could still be talking to witnesses, they could potentially still have some grand jury activity going on. But when you think about presenting something before
They should make me the special master.
for a grand jury, you may want to be able to show those documents. You may want to be able to refer back to those documents. That's not something the Justice Department is going to be able to do in this interim period while the special master is reviewing them. And again, we don't know how long this is going to take. As Kara pointed out, we have a good sense, that we're talking upwards of 11,000 documents. We just don't know how long that time frame will take and how much the Justice Department would be relying on these documents as they're presenting before a grand jury.
Right, because she's not saying pause your investigation. She's just saying pause your processing and review of these specific materials that are part of your investigation. Kara, could the DOJ appeal this?
Yeah, it was real interesting. Last week at that court hearing, the Justice Department asked the judge in her order to present her ruling in a certain way that would allow them the mechanism to appeal. Now, we didn't know at the time what this was going to look like, how she would rule, but certainly it's something that DOJ seems to be thinking about. We don't have any comment from them today of what they're deciding they're going to do, if they'll appeal or not appeal, but they were looking for a mechanism in which they could do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Kara. Thank you also to Sarah and Paige Pate. Appreciate all of you.
To politics.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, want to see some Haas leaks? Yeah. While this is going on, the judge who just granted Trump's special master request was appointed by him and has been a member of the far-right Federalist Society since 2005. Trump appointed Judge Eileen Cannon, who just ruled in favor of Trump. Once forced someone to testify in person while they had COVID. Cannon is a very far-right Trump judge who once forced someone to testify in person while they had COVID. I also have it on good authority that she's an anti-vaxxer who fought against her court's vaccine mandates. Trump popped off with that one, as always.
Reset.
We're gonna talk about now. We're gonna get to. Hold on, the Chilean election is a really funny piece of content that we're gonna talk about, or the Chilean Constitution. But I mean, there's judge shopping and then there's judge appointing. When you're the president, you don't even need to judge shop. You can judge shop as a private citizen, but you can judge shop as a private citizen the very same judges that you appointed. It is a direct conflict of interest. But of course, because presidents have awesome powers and because this system is designed in a way to basically reinforce, yes, I will cover the mass stabbings in Canada if I can get to it. I know. There was okay, here, I'll just mention it briefly and then we'll get back to it. I know that you guys are going to fucking constantly bring it up regardless. Yes, there was a mass stabbing that happened in Canada. I believe it was in Saskatchewan, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, 10 indigenous people, all of the victims were indigenous. 10 people were stabbed to death. Okay, there's still an ongoing investigation. Thank you, chill. We just want to know your take. Relax. I mean, I'm in the middle of covering something else. And we don't know anything. We don't know anything yet. Or at least I don't know anything yet beyond it. Okay, that's all I know. I don't know what you want from me other than that. Because anyway, let's move on. President Biden and Donald Trump are setting out on the midterm campaign trail to support their candidates, okay?
To the November elections traditionally begins on Labor Day, so we've officially entered busy season for political correspondence. President Biden will visit Pittsburgh and Milwaukee today, campaigning for local candidates. Mr. Biden and former President Donald Trump have been busy rallying their voters,
I'm gonna pee again.
each accusing the other of threatening America's future. Scott McFarland is at the White House for us this morning. Scott, what can we expect from the president's trip?
Hey, Ed, good morning. President Biden will spend this Labor Day rallying labor with speeches before major unions in those two states with particularly pivotal, competitive statewide elections, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And he won't be the only one out campaigning.
Neither has his name on the ballot this November, but President Biden and his predecessor are making their cases on the campaign trail. Today, after a speech in Milwaukee, the president travels to Pittsburgh, his third visit to Pennsylvania in less than a week, underscoring the stakes of elections there.
Equality and democracy are under assault.
It comes after a fiery speech in Philadelphia last Thursday.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Over the weekend, Republicans accused the president of giving a divisive political speech.
If this was a speech to unify the American people, it had just the opposite effect. It basically condemned all Republicans who supported Donald Trump.
The White House said the criticism was only directed at those who've incited violence and continued to deny the 2020 election results.
He is calling on Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans to really come.
I love that, dude. I do. Hold on, let me take this fucking. Okay. The idea that like Joe Biden is this scary guy while he is simultaneously, like unironically, a 900-year-old corpse that they wheel off every now and then after pumping him full of like the best kind of drugs that you do not have access to is a hilarious one. Like, this man has like 30 minutes in the tank at most, okay, on his best day, when he's pumped full of fucking the best baby spinal fluid, adrenochrome. He's got like 35 fucking minutes on the clock, and you're over here being like, dude, this guy who's literally a walking corpse is going to fucking kill every Republican. Why is he going to kill every Republican? Well, because he had the audacity to say something along the lines of, MAGA Republicans, not all Republicans, some of the Republicans, a small fraction of the Republicans are going a little crazy with their nonsense.
Come together and make that decision and stand together to make their voices heard so that we can protect what is the most important to our value as a country.
He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth?
On Saturday,
which is pretty funny because like Donald Trump will literally say things like that, as we watched before, as we watched on Saturday alongside Ted Nivison. But ultimately, Republicans crying like this is a good thing and not a bad thing. Why? Because it makes them look feckless, makes them look cowardly, makes them look silly, and makes them look funny, in my opinion. I only hope that there are... like, I'm not a fucking liberal. I don't like Joe Biden. But I do wish that there were more liberals in media that do claim that they like Joe Biden and the Democratic Party making better fucking content. Okay? Like, how are you going to be a libtard and not actually fucking use this as an opportunity to be like, Biden is great, he's strong, and you guys are bitch-made and crying because you're weak? Like, what are you doing? Why is liberal media also rushing to do the both sides shit on this? It pisses me off. Behave in the same way. If you want people to watch your content, then copy what Tucker Carlson is doing and do it from the liberal Democratic Party side. What is wrong with you? It's the easiest thing, dude. It is absolutely the easiest thing you could do. And yet, media still fails on that note. They have to go both sides. They have to both sides this shit every time.
Saturday, former President Trump also in Pennsylvania.
Why the fuck would you want to be Tucker Carlson? That man is dumb as fuck. What do you mean? Tucker Carlson is the most effective propagandist in the country right now. I wish that there were more liberals who were, doing Tucker Carlson style propaganda for the liberal cause, whatever the fuck that is. But of course, that idea in and of itself is a silly one too, because the liberal cause in and of itself is also a difficult one to discern because it changes. It is also reactionary to a certain degree, and it works. It works as a counterbalance, or rather, controlled opposition, but a counterbalance to the Republican cause, which is well defined: death and destruction, and maximizing the harm to your political enemies, which is marginalized people that you use as a consistent cudgel and a red herring. to galvanize the most reactionary people that you have brain broken into thinking that America and the West overall is being destroyed by homosexual Marxists.
Pennsylvania fired back.
They're trying to silence me, and more importantly, they are trying to silence you.
Appearing side by side with the Republican candidates in the state's U.S. Senate and gubernatorial races, Trump
Doug
spent
Mastriano is
sizable
a
chunk of his
demon,
almost
too.
2-hour speech focused on the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago resort, trying to fire up his base.
The FBI and the Justice Department have become vicious monsters, controlled by radical left scoundrels.
The Justice Department and Trump's legal defense are awaiting the ruling from the federal judge in Florida about whether to order that special master, that independent third party to review the record.
The judge already ordered it. Yes, there is an independent third party, and yes, there will be an independent third party. So there it is.
Seized from Mar-a-Lago. No certainty on when that ruling's going to come, and no certainty on how or when it'll impact the midterm elections, which are now just 64 days away, Ed.
64 beautiful days. Scott McFarland, thank you. We'll be there for all of it.
Democrats are hoping the
But here, let's take a look at more of this both sides bullshit.
Whatever he said, the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, which tracks hate speech, said after the Biden speech, there was a surge online in conversations that said Biden's remarks singling out MAGA Republicans were interpreted as a declaration of war.
This is British politics, by the way. What you are watching is British politics. So British news media is very reactionary. I know that we think here in America, because they have the NHS and shit, that The Guardian and the BBC are actually like very, left-wing or whatever. And on certain issues in comparison to America, they are kind of like that. But usually when it comes down to it, like they will do this exact same thing that CNN, ABC, and everyone else does. As a matter of fact, they are literally the best at doing this, where they will subtly play the both sides are actually bad agenda. When it comes down to, like, for example, saying that TERFs, like calling someone a TERF, is actually hate speech. You're victimizing people. You can go around and fucking say all Democrats are pedophile, vampire, queer teachers that want to groom your children, and that's not hate speech. But the moment that someone turns around and says, hey, that kind of stuff is nonsense, like, you're out of your fucking mind, actually. And if you believe that, you're a crazy person. They're like, whoa, hold on now. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you must be out of your mind. This is hate speech. They love crying to the fucking referees, dude. They love it. They love it. I say more of that, though. I mean, oh, it's so divisive. It's like, yeah, it's divisive because of you, dumbass. Sorry if the microphone is peaking. I will lower the peaking right now.
War against conservatives and all the Trump voters.
Well, what I would say to that is that this is what this MAGA agenda has been all about. It's been about distorting the truth. It's been about misleading people. It's been about putting out information that inflames people. And I just encourage people, go to the White House website, whitehouse.gov, and read the speech for yourself. I've read it multiple times, and what I see in this speech, I see words of encouragement, I see optimism, I see a commander-in-chief who is calling out to all of us, no matter our political affiliation.
All of us? He wasn't calling out to the MAGA supporters, certainly. He mentioned them more than a dozen times as a...
Like, it's also a bit of a self-report when you're like, I can't believe Joe Biden said I'm bad. Joe Biden will be like, the Nazis are bad. They're not the entire Republican Party, but the ones that are inside of the Republican Party are bad. And every Republican will turn around and be like, he's calling us a Nazi. And guess what? That's hate speech. That's actually hate speech. It's like, yo, why are you personally offended? Why? Why are you taking on the notion that you are also a part of the Nazi part of the Republican Party? And I mean, let's be real. They are. You know? They are. That's why they're mad. That's why they're projecting. That's why they're fucking jumping on it and being like, oh, well, I can't believe you said that.
threat to democracy. Has the president essentially given up on those MAGA Republicans, some 70 million people?
Well, what the president has done is said that he will continue to work with mainstream Republicans, that he will work with Democrats, that he will work with independents to get things done in our country. But this MAGA Republican agenda, this hate-fueled agenda, this MAGA Republican agenda that we saw incite violence on our nation's capital has no place in a democracy. And if we are not intentional about calling it out, which is what the president did, then our country, everything that our country is built.
To be fair, I mean, they are. 70 million people did vote for Donald Trump. Not every single one of them is like down to fucking down to cry foul and like storm the halls of Congress. But like a fuckload of them were definitely not in favor of the election results and claimed that they were fake. And now every single one of the Republicans that are running in the primaries are running on the idea that like the election was stolen from Donald Trump. At least like most of them are doing that because they want to get Trump's endorsement. So, you know, it's not Joe Biden saying like MAGA Republicans are fucking out of control. I mean, it's a small percentage of the party or whatever. It's too kind, in my opinion. He should have just straight up said like, yeah, if you believe the election is stolen, you're out of your fucking mind, Jack. You're crazy. So then the Republicans would be on the back foot talking about how ableist Joe Biden is for saying the word crazy or something. Make him look crazy. Republicans have been doing this very effectively for a very long time, for far too long. Time to turn it against them a little bit.
Upon is in.
But you can't do that if the media is both sidesing the situation. You know what I mean?
Danger.
How?
Speaking of both sidesing the situation, the Washington Post editorial board has a new take on the Chilean proposed constitution. Oh, man. I mean, last time Americans proposed the Constitution for Chile, things were great, if you remember. I mean, it was so sick, so sweet. People were thrown off helicopters. People go on helicopter rides and shit, you know? It's tight. Super tight. Super fucking tight. Now, I'll just say it like this. Obviously, the Chilean Constitution is still going to be voted on. Or has it been voted on already? Oh, they have. They've rejected it. Okay. But regardless of what the people of Chile have to say about their new constitution, I have to mention something here. Why do Americans feel the need to have a say here? Oh, well, it turns out lithium is a key input in batteries that run millions of laptops and upon which the United States is basing its electrified automotive future. Chile sits atop the world's largest lithium reserves. It produced about 25% of the world's commercial supply in 2020. That's reason enough to pay attention to Chile's impending September 4th referendum on a proposed new constitution. It could recast the legal framework for mining. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What was in it? In a single ballot, Chileans will decide whether they want legal abortion, universal public health care, gender parity in government, empowered labor unions, greater autonomy for indigenous groups, rights for animals and nature, and constitutional rights to housing, education, retirement benefits, internet access, clean air, water, sanitation, and care from birth to death. How devastating. Now, of course, people of Chile have voted overwhelmingly to reject this proposed leftist constitution. And the right-wing media in America, which is insanely reactionary when it comes down to, especially international affairs. It's super reactionary when it comes to American affairs too. But I'll tell you something. There's no better way to see how openly they fucking want to kill, hate, shit on leftists and leftist values than when they're talking about countries that are making an effort, countries that are changing the tide, countries that are actually electing leftist leaders. Now remember, If you think the BBC is incredibly woke or whatever, remember the last fucking time they had this election in Chile, and one of the random people that they decided to interview had a weird last name that you might have heard before. That's right. The BBC turned around and interviewed when Chile was deciding between the current left-wing President Gabriel Boric against some fucking right-wing psychopath. BBC went and interviewed someone. His last name was Pinochet. Turns out it was a grandson of Pinochet. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's wild. What the fuck are you doing? No, the fuck they didn't, lol. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And no, it wasn't a coincidence, dude. Do you guys not remember this? What the fuck?
Chile has elected.
I wonder if they kept it in this one.
Up in a free. A former dictator, Augusto Pinochet. Paz Marquez is 18.
It's not in this one. It's not in this coverage, but yeah, they did. I have it. Like, I have the thank you, BBC News, for finding these everyday Chilean voters to discuss whether Chileans really want the socialist leader they just elected. And yes, they are related. Gonzalo Pinochet. I mean, what do you want? There it is, dude. There it fucking is.
A distant cousin of the former dictator disagrees.
Oh, distant cousin, sorry.
That populism is something really, really bad that's been happening in our continent.
God. So, you know, good stuff. Zoomer chatters immediately turn to liberal fuckwoods when presented with facts they cannot accept. Yeah, we already covered this. I already looked at this. I already told you. So, do you know about how the Ford Motor Company was involved? No. You got it mixed up with Mussolini's granddaughter in Italy? No, I thought it was I knew it was a relative. I just remember because related, 100% you agree. Wait, what? Not only is he related, but he's voting for a fucking related party. Cast itself was very much on board with it, with that similar platform. Not only that, but also, yeah, they fucking interviewed a relative of Pinochet. And they interviewed him because he was in support of Cast. So yes. Apparently disinfo played a major role in this, by the way. Here's John Schwartz from The Intercept. The proposed new Chilean constitution began the year with majority support, which then crumbled as the disinformation specialists got to work and rumors spread that it would legalize abortion up to the moment of birth, allowing people's homes to be confiscated, etc. The Chilean right spread preposterous lies about the proposed new constitution, but they never said it would mandate litter boxes in elementary schools for furry children, which shows how far they are behind the U.S. right. Yeah. It fucking popped off, and then it fell off of a cliff when... It popped off, and then it fucking fell off of a cliff when, you know... when people just came out of the gates swinging against it. This information is the wave, baby. It's the name of the goddamn game. It's especially easy to tag leftist leaders and leftist platforms with this kind of misinformation because we have an inherently reactionary media across the board because the media plays a fundamental role in ensuring the continuation of the capitalist infrastructure. normalize the harm that you experience under it, and ensure that the system continues. And yes, that system oftentimes will turn to fascism as a mechanism of control, like it did with Pinochet, like it did with Hitler, like it did with Mussolini, regardless of their origination or their origin points or their original ideologies. Fascism is used as a mechanism of control when there is too much trade unionist talk, when there's too much communist talk, when there's too much organizing, when the working class is getting together. When the working class is getting together and starting to make demands and actually creating mechanisms of pushback, mechanisms of feedback, all of a sudden, boom, you have a more authoritarian, fascist means of control, and the media will absolutely back that candidate, always.
Now to Chile, where voters have overwhelmingly rejected a progressive new constitution in a referendum. The proposed constitution was aimed at boosting the rights of indigenous people and women. It would have been replaced, the one adopted during the Pinochet era. Chile's current president has vowed to press ahead with efforts to overhaul the constitution. More than 60% of people who cast their ballots voted against the rewrite.
Victory for the no camp. Chilean voters rejected the proposed new constitution by a far wider margin than polls predicted. They said no to what would have been one of the most progressive constitutions in the world, with a focus on social welfare, gender equality, environmental protection, and indigenous rights.
It is a really surprising triumph, and that means Chile is a country that rejects communism, Marxism, and the attempt of communism to seize power.
At Santiago's emblematic Italy Square,
they're technically celebrating, and I don't have a lot of time to get deeper into this right now, but they're technically celebrating a constitution that was basically written by some of the worst fucking neoliberal weirdos in America. They're so incredibly cucked. And from what I understand, some of the poorest neighborhoods were also on board with not changing the constitution, which is really sad because, unfortunately, the people, those who are slated to benefit the most from leftist positions oftentimes are the ones who are the most malleable and easily persuaded by disinformation because they don't have a strong social support, a strong social safety net, strong education, strong levels of literacy, all problems that would be solved with, ironically, the leftist constitution. And it happens in every part of our lives. I mean, West Virginia is a solid analog to this, I think. If you want to think about it like that. A lot of you always ask, like, why are people in West Virginia voting Republican? Like, it's plus 35 Trump state. It doesn't make sense. These people are so poor. It's one of the poorest states in America. Well, they're that way because it's the government has left them behind. And also that creates an easy opportunity to, that creates an easy opportunity to persuade people in the opposing direction.
there's disappointment for backers of the new constitution. After strong initial support, polls showed the Yes campaign losing momentum in recent weeks, with voters worried about market instability and how to pay for new benefits. Observers also point to a disinformation campaign. Leftist President Boric is vowing to go back to the drawing board.
I make an honest appeal to all political forces to put Chile ahead of any differences they may have, and to agree as soon as possible on the deadlines and parameters of a new constitutional process.
For now, Chile is left with the 1980 constitution drawn up under the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. centre-left and right-wing.
Like, can you imagine your country gets fucking on 9/11 nonetheless? Your country has an American-backed coup d'etat. Okay, you're democratically voted on socialist president, kills himself, okay, in the process. A dictator is planted. And the Constitution is written by Americans, okay? By the Chicago boys specifically, all right? And then finally, so many years later, nearly fucking half a century later, you've overcome that. As a consequence of neoliberal austerity, basically privatizing water and ruining transportation and making people's lives miserable, and year-long effort of years-long effort of younger generations rising up against the government, getting fucking owned, getting brutalized, getting beaten down. You elect a left candidate for the first time ever in this country. Okay? And then he comes up with a new constitution, one that is going to be beneficial for the Chileans. And boom. They say, no, we want to keep that fucking American written constitution. It's just so cucked. Not that simple. It wasn't a good constitution. I mean, things I've said, things I've read in it seem great. Things that we have looked at here on this broadcast with respect to the Cliff Notes seem fine.
Parties that supported the No campaign.
But one thing that we can, I think, all agree on, especially if you're in this community, is that the previous one is not good.
Have agreed to negotiate to prepare a new text.
For more, let's bring in Miriam Gak, our Latin America expert in Bonn. Miriam, the new Constitution is regarded as more, well, what would have been the new Constitution was regarded as more progressive and inclusive. Why have people voted against it?
Yes, Terry, would have been one of the most progressive constitutions in the world, as you said. I think it might be that this constitution was even too progressive. Chile is considered a very conservative country, which you can see in even if they have a left government, a left president, parliament, Congress is dominated by the right-wing forces. And the exception was this constitutional convention, which was elected in May 2021 with a vast majority of left civil society representatives, and the conservative parties didn't even reach a third of the seats in this convention. So this kind of promoted a mistrust in the text, and the work of the Constitutional Convention also was looked at with very critic eyes, and they also produced some negative headlines. So I think there was it was maybe a too big step ahead to transform Chile into a new country, unfortunately.
A big step and a big document. I mean, the Constitution is hugely complicated. How well informed was the population about the details of this new Constitution? Were voters subjected to much misinformation?
Indeed, they were. The conservative parties and those who opposed to this new project really, they ran a massive campaign on social media with fake news, misinformation, and misinterpretation of what the Constitution proposed. Let's take some examples. For example, you mentioned the abortion was supposed to be legalized by this new Constitution. The opponents to the new Constitution made out of this that abortion would be legalized up to the 9th month of pregnancy in Chile, which is definitely false. Also, they argued that private property would be forbidden and people would be expropriated by their private homes, for example. Even things like the national anthem and the national flag would be abolished. So there was a lot of misinformation and people were targeted by social media. There is a deep mistrust in Chile in both political institutions like parties, but also in traditional media. And ironically, it was really traditional media and state bodies like the government, for example, who...
How does such lowbrow disinfo work? Dude, people are stupid, man. People are stupid. even the most educated, even the most like media trained person will often be duped because cognitive biases are really, really, really powerful. We all have biases, and overlooking said biases is a difficult endeavor in and of itself, but it's certainly it's you know, certainly much easier to use lowbrow misinformation to get people on board with like idiotic agendas.
To run an information campaign to really make people familiar with the text, but the text itself with 178 pages is way too long to really understand it.
Miriam, thank you very much.
I mean, there's more on it. There is more stuff on it, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to that because I have to go. I am going to leave now to go to shit camp, and we're going to a campsite, and it's fucking hot as titties, and I gotta get ready, and we'll be live at shit camp later tonight. So like I said, I want to do a short stream, cover a couple news stories, you know, I'm not going to rate anyone yet. No, it will be later on Cutie. I think Cutie Cinderella's channel will be the first channel that Shit Camp will be on. That's the opener. If you want to see the schedule, it's shitcamp.live/schedule. Here it is. Yeah, the starting ceremony is at 7 p.m. That's when the opening ceremony is going to start. It will be at Cutie's channel. And then tomorrow I will be streaming a scavenger hunt. I don't know who I'm going to be going up against because it was supposed to be like co-stream between me and XQC. But that's not happening anymore. So, yeah. I'm going to take my vitamins. And I'm going to run the last 3-minute ad break here. And also, I do have a desktop set up. At Shit Camp. So I'm going to try to do news coverage when I'm there as well. Okay? So, yeah. All right. That's it. And I'll see you on the other side, folks. Yes, a tent desktop. No, we're in fucking cabins, man. We're not in a tent. Not like that. Okay? Super short and sweet today. Here you go. I'll see you in a little bit, all right?
Starting off the day. All the shadows trickling in has helped people hate. Sunny Los Angeles, California, says Hassan. The starlock to the starlock to the topic just begun. There he is again, Hassan is streaming. Hassan is streaming. There he is again. Hassan is streaming. Hassan is streaming. Reviewing the P.O. box, Uncle Uger's face. Sudden discord at your prop, great names take embrace. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this, plenty more to go. 90-day fiancé, talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A A Trump rally live reaction on mass riot at DC. There he is again, her son is streaming, her son is streaming.